In the midst of the eternal Egyptian desert, where the winds carry the secrets of the past, there is a silent valley in where the pharaohs sleep forever. But among the big names revered by the people, there is one that was once removed, buried by history, covered by the sands of time. Her name was Hatshepsut, a woman who went against the nature of her time, donned the crown of the gods, and challenged the world to recognize him as the true ruler of Egypt. Hatshepsut was born of the blood of gods and kings, the daughter of Pharaoh, Thutmose I and Queen Ahmose. From the palace's golden cradle, he was surrounded by symbols of power and greatness. He grew up with intelligence and a burning curiosity. His teachers taught the language of the gods, the knowledge of the priests, and the strategies of the commanders. As if from the beginning, the Egyptian sky had written her destiny not as queen, but as a pharaoh who will shake the world. However, in the palace, power is not passed on to those who are worthy, but to those who are permitted. When her father died, the throne fell to her half-brother Thutmose II, the man who became her husband to preserve the royal bloodline. Hatshepsut accepted her role as queen, but silently she watched, studied, and waited. She knew the time would come when the throne of Egypt would call her name. When Thutmose II died young, Egypt was left without a true leader. His son, Thutmose III, was still a child. Nobles jockeyed for influence. Priests whispered about the will of the gods. In the chaos, Hatshepsut stepped forward. She didn't wait to be invited, she claimed her right. And before the priests of Amun, she declared herself the rightful ruler of Egypt. She donned the false beard of the pharaohs, the double crown of Upper and Lower Egypt, not as a show, but as a symbol of absolute power. "I am the living Horus," she declared aloud, "chosen by the gods to lead mankind." The people were silent. The officials were confused. But gradually, they submitted. For the first time, a woman became a true pharaoh, and history records that day as the birth of the queen who became a god. But in a man's world, women's power needed divine justification. Hatshepsut constructed her own story, that Amun, the supreme god, descended from the heavens and impregnated her mother, that she was born not of human origin, but of divine origin. She rewrote the myth, and the people believed her. She became more than just a ruler. She became the embodiment of the power of the gods. Unlike other war-hungry rulers, Hatshepsut chose to build peace. She commissioned the construction of temples, obelisks, and monuments that defied time. The Temple of Deir el-Bahari stands majestically on a rock cliff, an architectural symphony of power and grace. There, she inscribed her name in stone, not to be worshipped, but to be remembered forever. She sent a great expedition to Punt, a land of spices, gold and mystery at the edge of the known world. Egyptian ships sailed through the Red Sea, bearing gifts, not weapons. Hatshepsut demonstrated that true glory comes not from conquest, but from relationships and wisdom. But beneath the glory, jealousy grew. Priests whispered, generals stared coldly, and among them Thutmose III, her stepson, who felt the throne belonged to him. He waited, silently nurturing anger, while Hatshepsut continued to expand her brilliance, unaware that the shadows were beginning to swallow the sunlight. Under her rule, Egypt prospered. The Nile flowed with blessings, the people prospered, and merchants spoke her name with reverence. She stood on the palace balcony, gazing at the pyramids of her ancestors, and whispered to the wind, "I have equaled them." In that moment, Hatshepsut was not just the ruler of Egypt. She was a symbol of human greatness. But time is the enemy of all kings. Her body began to weaken, her steps faltered, and whispers of death began to ring through the palace corridors. She knew history wasn't always fair to women, but she smiled, for she had left behind something more enduring than her body, her name. After her death, the shadow she had once rejected now consumed everything. Thutmose III finally ascended the throne, and together with the priests of Amun, he began to erase every trace of Hatshepsut from the face of the earth. Her statues were smashed, her face scraped from the stone, and her name was cut from the hieroglyphs as if she had never existed. But what they didn't understand was that a name that is erased sometimes becomes an indestructible legend. For thousands of years, the world forgot her. Beneath the sands of time, Hatshepsut slept nameless. Her temples were buried beneath the stone, her obelisks eroded by the wind. No prayers were said, no stories remembered. But in the depths of that silence, Hatshepsut's spirit whispered, Stones may crack, names may be lost, but truth always waits to be rediscovered. Centuries later, in 1903, a group of archaeologists excavated at Deir el-Bahari. Ancient dust swirled, and from within the silent burial chamber, they uncovered a forgotten sarcophagus containing the mummification of a woman. The markings on the stone coffin were faint, but a single name emerged from the cracks: Hatshepsut. The modern world fell silent. The queen erased from history now spoke again. With modern technology, scientists reconstructed the face of the mummy, and slowly the pharaoh's face appeared on the screen, stern, calm and commanding. Not a king, not a queen, but the very soul of power itself. She seemed to gaze directly into the present, silently saying, "Look, I never truly left." Today, in every remaining carving, a gentle whisper seems to ring. I am not just a woman in a man's world. I am a force rewriting my own destiny. Hatshepsut's voice flows from the stone walls into the hearts of modern people, teaching that true courage lies not in conquering others, but in overcoming the limits the world places on you. The temples and obelisks she built still stand defying time, reflecting the same sunlight as they did thousands of years ago. Every stone is a prayer, every shadow a memory, and among the ruins there is an eternal vibration. The legacy of a woman who refused to be forgotten. She proved that greatness does not come from birth, but from the courage to stand up to history itself. Today, Hatshepsut's name is taught in schools, written in history books and exhibited in museums worldwide. She is not just a symbol of ancient feminism, but a symbol that leadership knows no gender, age, or body shape. She showed the world that true strength doesn't need to be shouted about, simply demonstrated through wisdom and quiet courage. Perhaps in the realm of the gods, Hatshepsut smiled at the reappearance of her name. Watching modern humans admire a figure once buried by envy and fear, she knew that the greatest victory comes not from being worshipped, but from truth finally triumphing over lies. Hatshepsut had conquered time, and now she is immortal, not in a palace, but in every heart that dares to be themselves. Hatshepsut's name is now engraved once more, not in stone, but in the consciousness of humanity. She was not only the first female pharaoh, but proof that history can be silenced. But that truth will always find its way. She was a queen who became a god, a leader who ruled with wisdom, not fear. And when night fell on the Valley of the Kings, her shadow still walked among the temple walls, whispering softly, "I am Hatshepsut, and I am never lost."